Morning, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about your two roles in your business. Go ahead.
Woo! 2 roles in your business. You are what? You're the CEO and you're an employee. You probably take a salary, or maybe you're not at a point that you can pay yourself. It still is the same role. You are the CEO of what's going on, and you're an employee, the one doing the fulfillment. Lots of times we speak of the CEO as the one creating the profits and the targets and everything to hit. Well, as the employee in the company, the one that's executing all the work, it's your goal to execute. And how well are you executing what's going on? It looks like I have a tattoo.
No tattoos today. So we're talking about the dual roles and how we move forward with actually working on your business and then working in your business is really where we're coming from around here. Is the idea of being able to map out the longevity of your plan and being able to talk about or think about where you want to go and what you want to do for the month, the year, the 5 years. And that's really working on your business. And how much time are you spending on doing that? And then the other piece is really working in your business and getting the things done, fulfilling your customers' needs, fulfilling the day-to-day projects that you have going on. And a lot of people are either good at being the CEO and being that visionary, and then other people are really good at working in their business. But without both roles and without paying attention to both roles, the business doesn't scale the way you want it to.
I think that's a great way to look at it too, is like you can plan and dream and be a visionary, but if you're not doing the day-to-day things that move your business forward, whether it's sales calls, fulfillment, part of the whole discussion of this was we were calling people growing businesses that their voicemail was full. Yeah. I couldn't leave them a message saying, hey, I want to pay you money to have your services. I've left 3 messages with a pool company and they still haven't gotten back to me. I've emailed them. That's business. That's me following up with them. They should be following up for my business.
We actually ended up using Amazon for some of the things that we wanted from the pool company, and then we hired somebody else to do the rest of it. And so the reality is when we're too focused on one area of our business, we start letting things go. And when we're small and we don't have the ability to pay an employee, we have to do the employee stuff. And a lot of people end up getting stuck in this idea that I can't grow. And it really comes into, no, you can grow and you can scale. And if you're not growing and scaling, you're dying, unfortunately. And so if you want your business to stay around and you want to continue to make the money, you have to come up with a strategy to be able to work on your business while you're working in your business. And one of the biggest ways that we found is, and we talked about this yesterday, is our productivity tool. The way that we do things is we really focus on what the priorities are to get done for the business to continue to operate in its day-to-day. And then we also have another priority of what we have to do to grow our business. And we really look at it as 2 separate plans.
And the whole working on your business happens for us pretty much every day. We go on a walk, and that's good for our exercise. And that's where we kind of talk visionary of what's the next direction we want to take. And then we come home and we write it down and then get on with our day. It's typically how it works for us. And I really like that because we're out, there aren't distractions. It's just us focused on what we can do. And it's really important that, and that's all big companies have that time set aside to think strategically of what the next move is quarterly, or, what their golden goose egg is, which is something that we're working on. What's that program that we could rely consistently on, that can become repeatable for us, to generate that money, and then we can have a new quarterly project that we're going to work on next quarter that can do the same kind of thing. So we're talking about get really solid on one thing that you're doing, and then how can you add in another vertical in your company? And that's the scaling that Terry's talking about, is how can you keep that growing, keep this one stabilize it, and then start creating something else. And that's about strategic planning in your business. That's creating that sustainability that you're looking for. And yeah, you can't do it on your own. There's limits of how much you can make just doing it by yourself.
And the reality is when we start looking at what we can do, what we can't do, and when do we need to bring somebody in. And we were just talking to our coach just a minute ago, and we found that we've scaled our business to a place where we actually have to bring a new program in that's going to serve more people, because we've exceeded the normal amount of people that you should be working on
with one-on-one
with one-on-one or private coaching. And so we've exceeded it quite a bit. And so now we're looking at how we can bring a group program in that's going to provide the same thing as the private coaching on a higher level. And so
so excited.
Understanding how to go about doing that, it really, thank God we have coaches who have already done it, because now we just have to plug and play what they're telling us to do. And that's exactly what we do. And that's why we grow so fast. That's why we've grown so simply, is because we follow what our coaches tell us. And, CEO of the company, employee of the company, we really take those roles. And then we also take the role of being the person being guided so that we can continue to grow. And it's really about being able to very simply follow the plan that's laid out. That's why we love our productivity tool. That's why we love taking the time on the walks to really, either one of us pulls out our phone and writes down a couple of the different items that we talk about, and then put it into our productivity tool and really just move forward with it.
Yeah. And if I may.
You may.
All right. I really think, the role, we both call ourselves CEO of the company. Yeah. We are employees for different areas. We fulfill different aspects of our business. But we're both CEOs. That it comes straight down to that.
Yeah.
But then we may go do our own things during the day that highlight our skills and our abilities, and then figure out what we're going to be delegating that week is also a big chunk of what we do.
What your role is and what you're really doing, and the reason we push the productivity tool is it's really working towards a goal and taking the action items that are in that goal and moving yourself closer to the line. And so we have, at any given day, I think we have about 2 or 3 different projects that we're working towards. We have a book going on. We have a talk that we are always honing and revising as we go and talk at different places. And then our program and who we're actually presenting to in our one-on-one coaching and what we're doing to help them. Each one of these is a different project. And so when we really look at, okay, where are the holes in what we're doing, we are able to revise and monitor what's working and what's not. And then, of course, there's the continued sales.
Yeah. And the question is where are you finding the gaps, or where are you finding those things that you just don't want to do? And then what's causing you to not want to be doing those things, and what kind of help do you need, whether it's a productivity tool, whether it's learning about sales, like you mentioned, or learning where your audience is or who your audience is. Who is your ideal target market? It may not be the people that are right in front of you, or maybe you can figure out the message for who is in front of you. That's one of the things that we've been working on with our clients, is identifying what their next step is. Well, it's always about the next step. That's what we help with. We help you identify that. That's where we're trained. But who's your audience? Who are you looking to marketing to? I've loved learning about marketing and how important it is. And marketing is about being of service to the people. You have something that's going to make their lives easier. You have whatever product or service is going to move them faster in their business, in their life, in their family, in their community. And that's where you really want to highlight what you can do in your marketing, is knowing it's of service. And that's what we do. And that's why we've given you the productivity tool, is because it's going to make you serve more people.
And really, I think that when we bring it back to the CEO, when we're looking at what we want to do, that CEO role is, am I being productive the way I want to be productive? Am I doing what I want to do in the movement forward? And then really the action items in that are what the employee is doing. And so really the goals, the different projects that we create, CEO role, and then the action items are being that employee and getting those done. And so that's how I think about it, is there's the CEO me telling myself what's next to do. And then the great thing is, once you put it on a calendar now, and we have a calendar that's in that piece on the back page that really breaks it down, and we just use Google Calendar. And so we just put everything into our Google Calendar, color it, and then we know what's coming next, and we take the thinking out of it, and we can just become that zombie employee and just do the work worker bee, whatever. I'm just kidding. But the reality is, we take the thinking out of what's next and move it aside and just work our plan. And then the evening before the next day, we put our CEO hat back on and we think about what the projects for the next day are. And then we move into, here we go, wake up, worker, employee, and do what we have for the day. And so we flip back and forth every day. And we have a little bit of time being the guider of the company. And then most of the day we spend being the employee, making it happen.
Yeah. I mean, the visionary is the like 10% of your day. It's to set you up, see where your goals are at the end of the day, evaluate how your employee did yourself.
How we did. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of where we want you to challenge yourself is remember you're wearing two hats, but one you're going to be wearing a lot more often. And that's your employee, your worker bee, your executor role. And, make yourself your goals and then reevaluate daily. How are you hitting your goals? And, celebrate each win. I think that was something I was reminded of yesterday.
Huge.
Is celebrate your wins. You may not have gotten everything done that you wanted to get done, but you got a bunch done. You did. So focus on those things and maybe figure out why you weren't able to execute all of them. Or that's where you reach out to us and or our planning tool that's available. So that's kind of download the tool and play with it and see how it'll change your life. And it'll remind you of your goals consistently. And that's what we really want.
Yeah. And I think the last thing I would say is, very simply, if you're thinking too much about what you're supposed to be doing, you got your CEO hat on and you really need to just put some ideas down on paper that you want to get done and start being the employee and execute. And so, like she said, our productivity tool, generatorpromax.com, is where you find that. Download it. It's yours to use. And we will see you tomorrow. Are we doing 10:10?
We will be here at 10:10.
We are doing 10:10 tomorrow. So thank you very much. And we'll talk to you tomorrow.